All right, let's get cooking. Welcome to the latest edition of Chin Check Sports Radio. I'm your host, JD. I want to thank you all for taking the time out to join us. And as always, we welcome any suggestions, feedback, comments, and criticisms, which improves the quality of our program, which ultimately improves your listening experience. Before we get started, I want to tell all of you thank you for your tremendous support. People are slowly but surely finding out about who we are and what we do. They enjoy and respect the passion with which we speak. But as we always say here at Chin Check Sports Radio, we do this because we love it, as we are simply sharing our passion with you all as we continue to build our listening army to take over the world. You know that we are your go-to on YouTube for Dallas Cowboys coverage throughout the NFL season, as well as any and all Dallas Cowboys coverage. And we know it's been a minute that we have reported on our Dallas Cowboys, but we have been waiting in the weeds, quietly, stalking, watching moves. We have been taking our notes, and this is going to be an in-depth so far of the Dallas, in-depth analysis rather, of the 2024-25 Dallas Cowboys offseason. Well, the offseason began with the departure of former head coach Mike McCarthy, and the Dallas Cowboys decided to elevate and promote offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. That name sounds familiar. He is the son of late head coach Marty Schottenheimer of the Kansas City Chiefs in the late 80s and early 90s, and the San Diego Chargers of the mid-2000s and early 2000s that definitely had a few great seasons. So definitely wanted to give you a bit of Brian Schottenheimer's resume. Back in 1997, was an assistant with the St. Louis Rams. 1998, an assistant with the Kansas City Chiefs. 1999, a wide receivers coach. A tight ends coach for the University of Southern California in 2000. In 2001, a quarterbacks coach for the then Washington Redskins. 2002 to 2005, the quarterbacks coach for the San Diego Chargers. 2006 to 2011, offensive coordinator for the New York Jets. That was known as more of a defensive team that at that time went to two straight AFC Championship games. And the Chargers, we're talking about with LaDainian Tomlinson, a young Drew Brees. Phillip Rivers was drafted that year. The St. Louis Rams, now the St. Louis Rams, 2012, 2014. The Georgia Bulldogs, 2015, as an offensive coordinator and a quarterbacks coach. The Indianapolis Colts, 2016 through 2017, the quarterbacks coach. The Seattle Seahawks, 2018 through 2020, as the offensive coordinator. The Jacksonville Jaguars, 2021, as a passing game coordinator. I don't know what the hell that is. The Dallas Cowboys in 2022 as a coaching analyst. And the Dallas Cowboys, 2023 through 2024, as the offensive coordinator. Folks, don't know if what we just read out is an impressive resume for a head coach or somebody that screamed head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. We were definitely watching who the Cowboys were going to hire. And a lot of people were interviewed, and it seemed to be the fix was in to coach the football team, that he wanted Brian Schottenheimer for the job. Still trying to figure out the reasons why. As we stated before, we felt that Jerry Jones should be the head coach of the football team because Jerry Jones clearly undermines his head coaches. He feels that he knows what's best for the team. So why, oh why, would anybody want to take the head coaching job for the Dallas Cowboys working under this man? Well, now you have to worry about him talking to the media before you talk to the media. Him talking to the media before your team even gets to the locker room or while they're in the locker room. Him discussing things and blatantly, publicly criticizing coaches on their decision-making, where it's easy to do that when you're sitting in the booth and not necessarily on the field and you don't have the coaching experience. So we stand by what we said, that Jerry Jones should have coached the team. And folks, going to be totally honest with you here, we are not all that overwhelmed with the hire of Brian Schottenheimer. We're really not. We said that Mike McCarthy, and go back and listen to our previous broadcast, when they hired Mike McCarthy, we said that Mike McCarthy was a safe coach. And guess what? He had a good record, but of course, we're very critical of Mike McCarthy, namely in his playoff lapses and the team being undisciplined. So we're not necessarily upset about the team moving on from Mike McCarthy, but was Brian Schottenheimer really an upgrade? And Dallas Cowboys fans, remember the Dave Campbell years? Does this give you a Dave Campbell-ish vibe of somebody who should not be the head coach, but for whatever reason, was elevated? I don't know. I'm starting to feel some type of way. Cowboys are not really headed towards anything good. Not too sure. So we'll see how that plays out. We definitely have to say congratulations on a Hall of Fame career for guard Zach Martin. Thank you, Zach. You are a first ballot Hall of Famer. You are one of the greatest offensive linemen in Dallas Cowboy history. We can make an argument probably second to third best offensive lineman. That's behind Larry Allen, who's considered one of the greatest offensive linemen, probably the best guard ever in NFL history. And from day one, this guy came in and set the world on fire. Now, Cowboys fans forget, this was a Stephen Jones draft pick. They decided to rebuild the offensive line. Remember, this is when Jason Garrett was the head coach of the team. And Jason Garrett, playing or knowing how the 90s Cowboys was definitely fueled by that offensive line, wanted to rebuild the offensive line. Now, again, that offensive line was rebuilt by drafting Tyron Smith, a future first ballot Hall of Famer, Travis Frederick, who was on his way to being a Hall of Famer, if not for his autoimmune disease, and Zach Martin. That was an anchor, and that solidified those Dallas Cowboys in the late 2010s. Definitely a great player, and we're talking about from Notre Dame. And remember, Jerry Jones wanted Johnny Manziel. Let that sink in. In that same draft in 2014 was drafted another first ballot Hall of Famer in Aaron Donald. So the Cowboys definitely drafted well on the offensive line, and that's why their history precedes them about drafting quality offensive linemen from guys who are going to the Hall of Fame, guys who could have been a Hall of Fame, and guys who in fact were damn good, like even Pro Bowlers, all throughout their career. So definitely Zach Martin, definitely congratulations on a wonderful career. Thank you for your tremendous service to the Dallas Cowboys organization. You have been an exemplary player, a class act, and definitely wish you nothing but the best. And it's something that we definitely wanted to kind of mention about Zach Martin that people forget. And we mentioned this and go back to the broadcast we did during the Cowboys' dreadful 2020 season. Because of the injuries to the offensive line and basically rookies playing, Zach Martin actually kicked out to right tackle, and actually did a great job. So just showing this guy's versatility to be kicked out to tackle when now he's facing more athletic edge rushers, and held his own in 2020. But of course, as Father Time, it catches up with us all, and you clearly see he wasn't the same dominant player that he once was. So definitely Zach Martin, congratulations. Thank you so much on behalf of Chin Check Sports Radio on a wonderful career, and we'll be glad to see you in Canton in 5 years. On the free agent market, the Dallas Cowboys, after Jerry Jones promised going all in, and all in 2024 meant all in mediocrity, the Cowboys, Jerry Jones tried to convince us the Cowboys again would be players in the free agent market. So let's go over some free agents here. You tell me whether this is something that should really scare opponents, especially the Eagles and the Commanders. Well, the Cowboys did re-sign defensive tackle Osa Odigizua to a 44-year, $80 million contract with $52 million guaranteed. Now, we're glad Osa got his money. But this was our only thing about it was not Osa on the field when they were getting ran all over? Just asking the question. Not saying Osa doesn't deserve the money, but wasn't he on the field when the team got ran on the defensive tackle technique? But anyway, moving right along. So, but of course, the Cowboys wanted to solidify their defensive line. They need all the help they can get because Mozzie Smith is quite frankly not cutting it. So the Cowboys decided, so congratulations to Osa. The Cowboys re-signed, wait for it now, the punter, Brian Anger. Folks, we're not making this up. The long snapper, Trent Sear. Folks, we're not making this up. So the Cowboys' first signings was re-signing the punter as well as a long snapper. And the long snapper got a 3-year, $4.45 million deal. Folks, we're really not making this up. They re-signed safety Marquise Bell to a 3-year, $12 million contract. Undrafted free agent. They re-signed Dante Fowler from the Washington Commanders, who signed a 1-year, $8 million deal, who was a former Cowboy. Special team ace TJ Gooden was signed to a 1-year deal. Offensive lineman Brock Huffman was signed to a 1-year deal. Another offensive lineman, Robert Jones, was signed to a 1-year deal. Israel Mukwamu, who barely gets on the field, was signed to a 1-year deal. So the Cowboys did bring in some free agents. Who did they bring in? They brought in linebacker Kenneth Murray from Oklahoma, from the Tennessee Titans, basically trading that in a 7th-round pick to the Titans for a 2025 6th-round pick. Okay. The Dallas Cowboys also signed an undrafted player who was undrafted from the Bears on a 1-year deal, a linebacker named Jack Sanborn. So we'll see how that goes. Definitely, when we look at his numbers, solid, if anything, not really spectacular, but definitely a solid player. The Cowboys did sign a wide receiver from the Philadelphia Eagles. No, not A.J. Brown, not Devontae Smith. They signed a guy by the name of Paris Campbell. Folks, they signed a Paris Campbell. Well, at that time, the following guys was on the free agent market. Your Cooper Kupps and Amari Coopers, your Chris Godwins, clearly upgrades that could have been had for Devontae Adams, probably for better options, and Cowboys decided to go with Paris Campbell, who was a 2nd-round pick, drafted number 59. Cowboys decided to make a trade for cornerback Kaiir Elam from the Buffalo Bills. Now, folks, Kaiir Elam was a 1st-round draft pick, number 23 in a 2022 draft. The Cowboys the Cowboys received Kaiir Elam, and along with a 6th-round pick in exchange for a 2025 5th-round pick and a 2026 7th-round pick to the Buffalo Bills. In that 2022 draft, Cowboys drafted Tyler Smith in the 1st round. Turned out to be pretty good, didn't it? The best kicker so far in franchise history, and probably the best kicker in the league, and Brandon Aubrey, and the aforementioned Marquise Bell, both of whom were undrafted free agents. Undrafted free agents. Folks, not really sound like a very good, intimidating roster here. Move right along. Cowboys decided to sign 2 running backs. Folks, you all better draft a running back in this draft. Cowboys decided to sign running back Miles Sanders, a 2019 draft pick, 2nd round, number 59. Folks, in that draft, Cowboys not even have a 1st-round pick, because remember the trade that he made for one Amari Cooper from the Raiders. Oh, by the way, Josh Jacobs was also a free agent last season. They didn't bring it in. But anyway, we broke those numbers down on last year's broadcast. But the Cowboys drafted in that same draft. Miles Sanders went number 59. You know who went number 58, who the Cowboys drafted? Defensive tackle Tristan Hill. Where is he now? I rest my case. Miles Sanders, folks, had 1 Pro Bowl. His best season was in 2022, where he ran for 1,269 yards. That was the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. And he's done nothing since, through injuries and stuff like that. That's pretty much about it. So what exactly are we getting out of Miles Sanders? I have no idea. And he signed another running back, Javonte Williams, from the Denver Broncos, who was a 2021 2nd-round draft pick, number 35. Trying to figure out what the story is with that. But we'll see what the Cowboys do. So the Cowboys, you all better draft one of those running backs, whether it's Ashton Genty, or get one of these quality running backs in the draft. We're not going to play games. We're not going to, we're happy with our guys. We're definitely not going to do any of that. DeMarcus Lawrence. Definitely want to wish DeMarcus Lawrence all the best. Definitely made some little comments that got people's ear, and people felt some type of way about it, about he wanted to be in Seattle and he could never win a Super Bowl in Dallas. And Micah Parsons took exception to that. So, of course, there was a little social media spat. But at the same time, we pulled up his numbers, and DeMarcus Lawrence last had a double-digit sack season back in 2018. He has been cashing hefty paychecks ever since, and he too was on the field when the Cowboys were getting ran all over. And Cowboys fans, and yes, all of us are not created equal. There are some delusional ass Cowboys fans who would tell you with a straight face, even though the sacks numbers weren't there, because I just said last double-digit sack season he had was 2018. And Cowboys fans would have me convinced, well, sack numbers aren't that good, but he's pretty good against the run. How and where? Anybody want to tell me where was Marcus Lawrence there to stop the run? So again, he moved on. We're happy for him. We wish him nothing but the best. So hey man, it is what it is. Now Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. Sometimes it's good to just seriously just be quiet. And we're going to let you hear it from the horse's mouth himself.
Eagles and beat them for the most part when we played them. I don't want to say check the record when they're the guys holding the trophy right now. So credit to them. They've earned it and they deserved it by all means. But, yeah, very close, especially even watch the NFC game, the NFC Championship. And those two teams that we battle against each and every year, a couple of times. And as I said, feel confident about we've gotten the better part each and every time. To see it in such a dominating fashion, credit to them. It's our turn and it's on us.
Nigga, please.
Dak. Okay, Dak. That is Jerry Jones talk. We play the Eagles competitively. We play the Commanders competitively. Dak. That might be true. But that means what in the grand scheme of things that, okay, did you play them tough? The team that you're leading is nowhere even on the level of the Eagles or the Commanders despite playing it tough. Dak Prescott, it's the whole thing where it comes to divisional opponents, how people play divisional opponents tougher than you would play other out of division opponents. Dak, please, just not do the Jerry Jones talk. And Jerry Jones talking the same talk back in 2011 where the Cowboys are awful on defense and were getting beat by the Giants and he got swept by the Giants that season. But in his mind, the Giants won the Super Bowl and Jerry Jones was talking because we played the Giants so tough in both games. That means we're not that far off, even though anybody objectively could say the Cowboys were nowhere near Super Bowl contention, nowhere near a divisional round, and definitely nowhere near an NFC Championship game. The Washington Commanders playing in the NFC Championship game with a rookie quarterback, less time in the league. Jalen Hurts, who's been in the league less time, has already won a Super Bowl, has been in Super Bowls, has been in the NFC Championship game. Dak, just shut the hell up. I mean, dude, seriously. It's not about being close, because even last year, you just said, which I find it funny, we're close, so we played them tough, but you said Atlanta last year, we blanking suck. Dak, please, just, brother, we happy you got, well, we ain't gonna say we happy we got your money, but we are pro athlete, so being that you're a professional athlete, we are happy that you got your money. We want to hand that money can be better served going to the quarterback. Dak, just brothers, please, just the team is not there. Even with the players that the Eagles lost, the Brandon Grahams and the Darius Slays, you still not going to tell me that the Cowboys are on par with the Eagles to even compete for a Super Bowl. No way in hell. Yes, y'all can play the Commanders tough. I don't give a damn. Cowboys and the Redskins always play each other tough. The Commanders now, then formerly the Redskins. The year that the Cowboys went 1-15 under during Jimmy Johnson's first year, that one win was the then Washington Redskins. Hey man, it is what it is. But at the same time, I don't want to hear that you guys are close, and in fact you're not. That's Jerry Jones talk. So definitely had to touch up or definitely check in, rather, with our Dallas Cowboys news so far in the offseason. And until the next time, it's Chin Check Radio, signing out.